To be able to really help people, you can't be that generalized. Clients on demand just really allow me to kind of hone down who do I want to serve the most.
Russ, I can kind of help people do pretty much anything. It's not going to work for a high ticket offer because for a high ticket offer, the way that we create that connection where we really help people feel like we know them better than they know themselves is that we vividly describe the exact problem that they're experiencing and how they're experiencing that problem every single day.
Russ, you and the team have an amazing skill to be able to get the real stuff they're going through and then be able to present it in a system and a funnel that people are like, yeah, that's me.
Hey, it's Russ Refino. Got something very special for you guys today. An amazing interview with one of my absolute favorite clients of all time. As you guys know, the whole purpose of this YouTube channel is to pull back the curtain and show you what we've learned from over $100 million in high ticket coaching sales over the years. So if you're a coach, consultant, expert, author, speaker, and you want to monetize your expertise and take things to the next level, smash that like and subscribe button because you are absolutely in the right place. All right, please join me in welcoming Mr. Joseph Clough. Joseph, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me here, Russ. Appreciate you.
It's so good to see you. It's so good to hear that voice.
Thank you.
Yes, that rich hypnotist's voice.
Like I said, I'm really American. I just like to put on a fake accent.
He puts on that. Yeah, you still doing that fake British accent, man? Come on. Yeah, guys. So if you guys don't know who Joseph is, he is one of the absolute top hypnotists, hypnotherapists in the world. He has an incredible app in the App Store. If you search for, I believe, Joseph Clough Hypnosis, they'll find it, right, Joseph?
Yeah, well, just hypnosis with Joseph. That will usually pull it up.
Perfect. Yeah, it's an incredible app. There's amazing resources in there, amazing long hypnosis sessions, short hypnosis sessions, custom hypnosis sessions. My wife and I, we use it literally almost every day. It's an incredible resource for conditioning your mind for success, helping you get past limiting beliefs, anxiety, like literally anything that's holding you back. It's an amazing value. So I'll put the link in the description of this video if you guys want to check that out.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it. So Joseph, like, you know, when you're talking about hypnosis and hypnotherapy, this is something that is not hard to find, right? So like I live in a, one horse town that's like a forest behind me. I live at 6,000 feet up in the mountains, and yet in my immediate area, there's hypnotists, there's hypnotherapists, there's people that, can kind of help you with these things. So I think we've done a pretty freaking good job of helping you differentiate yourself from some of these other hypnotists and hypnotherapists out there and actually command a premium price point for your work. So can you talk about that a little bit? I know we've been working together for a while now. How are we helping you differentiate?
So you mentioned my app, which literally has over 3,000 audios within the app, which means we've got over 3,000 kind of topics and subjects, which is very generalized. And before I met you, I was very much in that, well, I've got to help everyone. Because like you, I want to help as many people in the world as possible and to be able to leave the world in a better place than we found it. But to be able to really help people, you can't be that generalized. So you and clients on demand just really allow me to kind of hone down on who do I want to serve the most and how can I make the greatest impact and how can I then cultivate the message to attract those people. And something that you always say is like, when you speak to them, they kind of then go, you know me more than me, myself. Like Russ, you and the team have an amazing skill to be able to get that data and the real stuff they're going through and then be able to present it in a system and a funnel that people are like, yeah, that's me. So with me personally, it was very general, but then I really like working with people with imposter syndrome, people with anxiety and not feeling good enough in themselves when it comes to like being a professional, being an entrepreneur. And the reason why I like that, because that was me. I used to have anxiety. I used to feel like an imposter. So I know it inside out. And it just kind of really getting that messaging dialed in from your help has just allowed my business to be able to really support those people who really need it the most.
That's amazing. So you have this app, you've got, this is the thing with, hypnosis and hypnotherapy is it, could solve 50 million different problems, right? Help people lose weight, help people quit smoking, help people make more money. And this is one of those things that I think a lot of hypnotherapists and life coaches struggle with. If you've got a skill set where you can sort of, Russ, I can kind of help people do pretty much anything, that's not going to work for a high ticket offer, because for a high ticket offer, the way that we create that connection where we really help people feel like we know them better than they know themselves is that we vividly describe the exact problem that they're experiencing and how they're experiencing that problem every single day. So you can't have a high ticket offer that's like, hey, I'm going to help everybody with everything, because if you're talking to everybody, then you're really talking to nobody. So in your case, Joseph, you decided to nail that down and kind of like narrow that down, dial that into working with people who have imposter syndrome, right? So primarily entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, experts, and they've got those nagging, lingering doubts. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's interesting about entrepreneurs is one part of them in the beginning has an imposter syndrome. And a lot of people who enter the program of Clients on Demand have a bit of imposter syndrome, really, right? Like, who am I to charge a high ticket amount? What makes me different from the masses, like you said? And then when you even get a level of success, you get the imposter syndrome of, why am I here? Like, what if I lose it all? What am I really, having achieved this success? Does it really mean that it was me, or what if it gets taken away from me? So on that entrepreneurial journey, or a high level professional journey, like going up to a CEO, when you're in charge of people, you've got people relying on you. So the imposter syndrome, which wasn't even a thing with me growing up, and for you, I know as well, but it's a word we can all relate to now, and entrepreneurs feel it. And if we, with that messaging, they kind of go, yeah, that's me, and I really need to get the help.
Yeah, 100%. We see this all the time at Clients on Demand, where it's almost like we have to give people permission to charge, 5,000, 8,000, $10,000 for their work or whatever it is. And people have such reluctance about commanding a premium price point because they just don't feel worthy.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, if you've got the solution to a major life or business challenge, you can save someone's marriage, you can help someone get in the best shape of their life, you can help someone, mediate some conflict or solve some major health issue or whatever it is, all these different things that our clients help people do. Those things are priceless, and they absolutely deserve a premium price. If I have to choose between, going through some terrible divorce, or like, you can actually save my marriage, that's priceless. So of course you can charge 5 or 8 or like 10K for that. So in your case, we decided to focus on imposter syndrome, which I think is awesome. We put together, a high ticket, super transformational program to help people deal with that. And then how many people have you put through that program, Joseph?
Just under 200 or so people, like
That's awesome.
160, 170. But I tell you
That's so
why,
great.
to go, what you're saying is absolutely true, by the way. I literally had a client the other week email me, and they said, I never knew what it was like to feel self-love, like to know that they're worthy and enough. They imagined what it could be like, but they never had it because of all that trauma that they had growing up. And that's why a lot of entrepreneurs want to get out of that situation, right? They fight for their success, and they try to earn validation and that, but it can never really be earned external. And they just wrote back I never knew what it could be like, but now I know that I'm worthy and I love myself. You've just opened my mind to something I never knew possible. So the fact that you can make an impact on that one person's life, and obviously they all go through that, that is life-changing. That's beyond even monetary reasons, which of course, when they get the program, monetary, they'll change. For the rest of their life, they will know that they're worthy and that they're enough. And
Right.
if we take a lot of the world, not many people feel that way. So just that identity level to know that they are worthy and they are love is just you can't explain. It gives you the tingles. And then to follow on to what you said, the reason why is when you charge that premium price, of course they're invested, but it means you get to over deliver as well. You can give them a personalized experience, which is catered directly for their needs. And that means they feel heard, they feel seen, they feel like they're taken care of, they're being handheld through the experience. So if people have doubts about the high ticket, it's actually a better system. Oh, and another thing, of course, with the group element, it like I call it like the mind mastery family, right? And people actually, it was called mind mastery, it's like the coaching group aspect to it. But people actually called it mind mastery family because that's the kind of tribe and the energy and the feedback that we actually get. People are feeling like they're connected. They get to choose this family. They get to surround themselves with a like-minded people. So if you do that just on an individual level, like on a one-to-one, you don't get that energy of a group. You don't get that support. And that's where High Ticket fully embraces the group, the one-to-one, and the customization of it all. So it's 10x.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Because you've got to give people, so what we see is we talk to a lot of people that have done other coaching programs now besides ours. And there seem to be a few fatal flaws that come up again and again, right? So number one, either it's like a cult of personality, right? Where there isn't really any training and it's like, oh, Joseph Clough is so cool. Let me hang out with him and I can just kind of touch the hem of his garment. And then maybe one day I'll be as cool as Joseph, right? Like there's a lot of these cult of personalities out there, right? But, a proper mastermind should be outcome driven. It should say, cool, here's where you are today and here's where you're trying to get to. And here's the step-by-step game plan to go from A to B. And so if it's not a cult of personality, a lot of these coaching programs only give you one little piece of the puzzle, right? So if you, for example, if you join a mastermind with like a Facebook guy, you're going to learn how to do Facebook. Or if you join a mastermind with a challenge guy, great, you're going to learn how to do challenges. But then what? Right? Like, how do you take that and actually turn that into paying clients, right? So you've got to have that start to finish solution. You've got to have proper support. You got to have like proper mindset support. And you really got to just coach people to go all the way to like where they're trying to go. So when it comes to imposter syndrome, this is something that affects so many coaches because they have this sense of unworthiness. Because most people, and I don't know if you've seen this with your people, Joseph, but a lot of the people that we work with, if they have a dating offer, it's because they sucked at dating and then they learn how to be good at it. If they have a weight loss offer, it's because they lost 100 pounds, and it's like they have this sense that, they've got their internal sense of unworthiness from their childhood trauma, but then they've also got this other sense of unworthiness stacked on top of it that they are still struggling with the thing that they're teaching people how to do. And I have to tell them over and over again that like, hey, this is completely normal, right? If you have never had a dating issue, you're probably not gonna create a dating program. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a marriage program because my marriage with Sarah just works and I don't have any idea why. Like it just works. I can't teach people how to do it, right? So it's the people that have struggled with something and overcome that thing to one degree or another that then turn around and create a coaching program teaching other people how to do what it is that they've done. And I think that can carry with it this profound sense of unworthiness that, oh my God, I just figured this out for myself. I just solved this problem for myself. How the hell can I turn around and help other people fix this too? Just like you mentioned. So maybe you could speak to that a little bit since you've got this program where you're actually helping people deal with those issues on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, well, what I'd firstly say is I was that person too. Like I said, I had imposter syndrome. I had the anxiety, I had the blushing, the worry. And in my research, most practitioners of change went through their own issue. They had a coach to coach them through it, or they discovered how to solve their issue. And then, like the hero's journey type of thing, they wanted to be able to do something greater than themselves. So that's why I wanted to help people, because I'd been there and gone through it. And you're definitely right. When I first got into this back in the day, but I was like, I am going to charge, what would it be in like dollars? I'm going to charge like $20. I think that's enough for a one-to-one session. Like that was my framework, because who am I to charge? Like there are people maybe been doing it longer than me. And on top of that, there was that part of me that I wanted to help people. So the very nature of helping people gets in your own way. And what you teach us is actually, because you're really good at hypnosis as well, by the way. Because you're reframing so many people within your program. You're getting them to see a different level. You're getting them to see their qualities, the greater impact. So you're reframing people all the time in the program. So when they're in the program, they're like, oh, actually, yeah, this makes total sense. That it's actually of a disservice to charge little. Like, who would you want your children to go in a car, the $5 car or the one which is 20 grand? which one would you trust, right?
Right.
It's going to be
Automatically, the more
you're not going to
expensive
put
one.
them in the $1, $5 car. Like
No.
it has zero value and it's safety concern. So when you actually charge a premium price, like you teach us, you position yourself as that authority. And people know that from you because they can distinguish between people who are not. But yeah, like you said, imposter syndrome is the big thing which stops practitioners. But what I would say is, like, beyond my own program, COD actually shifts that. It gets them out of the imposter syndrome because there's so many examples that you give people, real life examples, and your lessons and learnings, which just shifts their perception. Like, it's a game changer in every single way. Like,
Thanks,
I
man.
can honestly say well, I know you've transformed thousands of lives, but you've definitely transformed my life in the biggest way. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Literally
Thanks,
no-brainer.
Joseph. Appreciate that, man. So, all right. So then, if you got someone who's watching this and they're thinking about coming to work with COD, what would you tell them?
It's a no-brainer. Ultimately, yeah, you got to show up and do the work. It's not like you got to be invested into the program in time. You got to put the effort in. But why would you not put effort into something which is going to transform your life? But ultimately, COD will be your biggest supporters. Like, I know you personally. Like, I know we're friends, right? But before I knew we would be friends, I felt like you were my friend, right? Because that's where your heart is. That's where your intention is. And the same thing with all the team as well. Like, you emotionally connect with the people because you've been there, you know how to do it. And ultimately you'll feel like you've got, because here's the other thing, right? Real quick. Entrepreneurship, whether you're a practitioner or not of some form of transformation, is a lonely journey. Like, it's all by yourself. And if you got to figure it all by yourself, if you're a practitioner, you're great at what you do. You're probably not that good at business, right? Because that's not your superpower. So why wouldn't
Right.
you get someone who is the superpower or has all these superpowers of business on your team? It's like you've now made your company an individual to now you've got the best copywriter in the world, the best Facebook ad people in the world in your team. So let alone the energy that you bring and the connection, it's just, why wouldn't you do that? It sounds mad to me. Like, it's literally a no-brainer. You could go alone and figure it all out by yourself, or just get the immediate expertise straight away to be able to save you all that time. It's more costly not doing it, in my opinion. And trust me, I've spent thousands. I was spending like 25 grand a year in a mastermind, which was nice, which was good. But I won't mention anything about the people or anything like that because they're nice, awesome people. But it wasn't for me. It wasn't designed specifically to get my business how you're teaching it.
Right.
So you got the cost of spending it elsewhere, you got the cost of doing nothing, which is even more costly, or you can just invest in the right system, which will just get you the results.
I love that, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, you heard it. Let us help you get this thing off the ground. If you're a coach, consultant, expert, author, speaker, you solve a major life or business challenge for your clients, you need to be charging $5,000 and $10,000 for your work, and you need to be able to enroll clients into your programs in a consistent and predictable way, not dependent on word of mouth, not dependent on referrals, but a way where you can spend X on social media and make Y back, where you can, spend $1 on Facebook or whatever it is and make $5 or $10 back or whatever it works out to. If you want us to help you do that, click the link in the description of this video and we'll show you exactly how it's done. Joseph, thanks so much for hanging out with us, man. Really
Can I give you
appreciate
some other
Yeah, go
props
ahead.
real quick? Right.
Sure, yeah.
One thing you'll get to realize is Russ does all the testing for you. Like, you are literally 5 years ahead of us in the testing, and you do all the hard work. If it doesn't work, you take the cost of it, right? Because you're not going to teach us that part of it. But when it does work, when you master it, you teach us it. So you're actually the person going out there learning all the stuff to be able to keep adapting in this ever adapting online space. So
Yeah.
that's a crazy cool thing. And what I would say, the one thing you've done recently, which I replicated, allowed me to be able to transform another 8 lives in a week's period. just by implementing the one thing that you tested. So without you testing and going out there and innovating, I wouldn't have had that. So you get that on top.
I love that, man. That's great. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars testing stuff just to see what's working, what's not working, just to stay on the cutting edge. And then we take all that discovery and all that intelligence and we give it to you guys so that you can always be on the cutting edge of what's working now. And when it comes to Facebook, especially today, it's always changing. It's always adapting. You know, the algorithm is always getting updated. So, you know, hey, let me spend my money so you don't have to, so I could just tell you what's working and what's not. Joseph, thank you so much, man. That's awesome. Guys, click the link in the description of this video, book a call to talk to us, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.